Hello there. It's the last day of the first month of 2024 rather. Good evening to you and many thanks for joining us on Rwanda Television News. These are the headlines. The delegates of the UK-Rwanda Business Forum recognized this valuable opportunity to collaborate and enhance the investment relations between both countries. Electa Foundation, a government development partner in fighting cervical and breast cancer, plans to screen at least 42,000 women with both cancers by March this year. Good evening to you once again and thanks for keeping us company. As we started off, delegates of the UK-Rwanda Business Forum recognized this as a valuable opportunity to collaborate and enhance trade and investment relations between both countries. We do have the details with Adam Squizera.
Ikiro cy'ikawa kigera mu Bwongereza kiri nko ku mapawundi 8.
Exporting agricultural products to the international market in European countries, including the UK, was one of the challenges encountered by coffee farmers in particular. David John, a local exporter with over 20 years of experience in this sector, explains the long journey that this sector have experienced in the past years.
The journey of the farmers has gone quite a big stride because when we started, we had ordinary commercial stream coffees at a percentage of 90, 10 fully washed.
The trade agreements between the government of Rwanda and the UK have proven to be a compelling factor that attracted coffee and tea farmers in Rwanda to engage with the UK common market. This has resulted into positive results for exporters, as reiterated by both John Levero and Bon Foste.
Quality goes with money in terms of value. So the exports have boomed from, I guess, 10 million to 113, if not 120, fluctuating depending on the season.
You can imagine when you export goods and an importer brings all sorts of complaints about quality, mold, temperature levels, and you don't have a representative there on the other end. It's really challenging. So those are the challenges we went through maybe about 5 years ago to about 3 years ago. But the interesting thing is that we never experienced that trading with the UK. And for that matter, our business with UK has grown more than in the other countries in Europe.
On Wednesday, at the closing of the UK-Rwanda Business Forum, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, Eric Rwigamba, highlighted that the discussions and agreements for this 3-day forum are anticipated to yield positive outcomes, particularly in the agriculture sector.
The UK-Rwanda Business Forum was organized to enhance the partnership, to create new opportunities, to improve where there is a need for improvement, try to address the challenges if there is. So we have so many business entrepreneurs that are here from UK. They have met processors, they have met exporters, they have met farmers, and so we believe a discussion around on the same table with the policymakers and the farmers and the promoters and the exporters, with the buyers in one room on the same table, we think it's going to just increase the business flow of what we export to UK.
In 2023, the trade between Rwanda and the UK, encompassing various goods and services exported and imported on both sides, was estimated to be worth of $44 million. Over the last 10 years, the UK's investment in Rwanda reached a record of $665 million. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Still on the UK-Rwanda Business Forum, in a groundbreaking conversation, RBA delves into the insights shared by Lord Poppard, the UK Prime Minister's trade envoy, following the highly anticipated UK-Rwanda Business Forum that have been happening in the last 2 days. He explores the key takeaways and strategic initiatives that promise to shape the future of economic collaboration between the UK and Rwanda in this exclusive interview he had with our colleague Adam Squizera.
Well, yes, we did, more than expectation. In fact, it's amazing. 1,200 companies registered, 130 UK companies here, including 5 coffee importers here from 60 different countries. So it was an amazing forum, UK-Rwanda forum. We have that very special relationship. And I'm glad UK carries that goodwill that people came from many parts of the world to attend this. And our interest is to see what we can do to develop trade and investment between our two great countries. We had a mini forum for mining in UK attended by Francis Gattari, the chief executive of RDB. And from that 80 companies who came to our forum, 4 are already in Rwanda. 4 UK companies exporting the tune of £1 billion plus, $1 billion plus. And Rio Tinto is another company that we are signing MOU with the Rwandan government. It's the largest mining company quoted in the London Stock Exchange, so they'll be here as well. It's just not mining, it's agriculture, it's manufacturing, it's financial services, it's all that we want to gather. And this forum consisted of people from different fields of business. Very clear, let's work together, let's bring that prosperity. If Rwanda is prosperous, we are prosperous. Let's get people out of poverty. Let's work on the development of Rwanda. Rwanda has done extremely well in the last 20 years. It's developed so much. There's so much more to do. And President Kagame is determined for that to happen, to work with many partners, not just UK, but a number of other countries too. Rwanda can be a gateway in financial services, in connections, airport connections. Rwanda Airways does an extremely good job. It's building up their fleet and all that. Rwanda can be a gateway because Rwanda has got that political will to do it, and they will do it, yes.
To health matters, ELCTA Foundation, a government's development partner in fighting cervical cancer and breast cancer, plans to screen at least 42,000 women with both cancers by March this year. We do have the details. At Mukaranje Health Center in Kayonza district, women over 29 years of age are being screened of cervical and breast cancers. I came for breast and cervical cancer screening because I want to know my health status. I got screened for breast cancer and they told me that I'm okay. I was vaccinated when I was still in school. In Rwanda, women aged 29 to 49, about 1.5 million need cervical cancer screening, while 7% of girls and teenagers are not immunized from the cancer. This cancer is the 4th leading cause of death worldwide, among other cancers. Officer in charge of diagnosis at the Mukaranje Health Center explains the seriousness of the issue.
Abantu twasanganye iyo virusi itera kanseri y'inkondo y'umura yitwa human papilloma virus.
In Kayonza district, we started screening in November. 24% of those screened were diagnosed with the papillomavirus that causes cervical cancer. We also got 10 cases of cervical cancer, and 10 people were diagnosed with breast cancer.
Kanseri y'ibere tumaze kubona 11 bayanduye bayirwaye byabaye confirmed.
Congratulations to all of you.
A team of officials and staff from the Swedish Embassy in Rwanda, led by ELCTA Foundation Director Lassie Hubbard, visited the 2 cancer screening services sponsored by the organization. The organization plans to screen at least 42,000 women for cervical and breast cancer by March this year.
So one thing when it comes to cervical cancer is you start with HPV testing, because HPV is the main cause of a cervical cancer, because 99% of cervical cancer is caused by HPV infections. Now the infection itself is silent because you don't have a symptom. But persistent infection will develop precancers and become cancer. So the workflow is you start with HPV testing. In our program, we develop the lab in the district. So we are testing this model, move from the centralized model, all the labs in Kigali, and then moved closer to where the program is. So that way we can receive our samples faster and we can process faster. Like I said, we have been successfully doing 850 a day, and that's a part of the reason is we really bring our services close to these women.
835 patients diagnosed with up to 10 types of cancer in 2020. Cervical cancer accounted for 1,229 cases, equivalent to 13.9%, and breast cancer accounted for 1,237 cases, representing 14%. In 2022, approximately 600 people were diagnosed with cervical cancer, and the number lowered to 447 in 2023. Rwanda's Minister of Health, Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana, noted that the country invested a lot in fighting cancer.
ikigo nka BioNTech uretse no kuba kizadufasha mu gukora inkingo ku mugabane wa Afrika.
Except contributing to vaccine manufacture on the African continent, BioNTech will enhance research on diseases like cancer, especially for Rwandan and African researchers in general. The other factor that increases the number of people who go to seek medical attention from abroad is cancer treatment and the lack of equipment like PET scan. We will acquire that in the near future. All this goes hand in hand with service delivery. We know there is still gaps, and we will continue addressing them so that citizens can be served well from the village to top levels.
Ni nacyo cyari gisigaye ku mwanya wa mbere gituma abantu bajya kwivuza hanze.
The World Health Organization designated the month of January for the campaign against cervical cancer, as in 2020, about 604,000 people were diagnosed with the disease. 90% of the 342,000 victims are from developing countries. Still on related matters, this evening, First Lady Jeannette Kagame joined the cervical cancer elimination webinar organized by the Commonwealth Secretariat. She delivered a message to the Commonwealth urging the greater international collaboration to eliminate cervical cancer. She said, I quote, "Together, let us continue to work towards a future where cervical cancer is no longer a threat to women's lives. If not, we would have failed women. We would have failed the entire families, entire communities, and yes, we would have failed our entire world," Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame said. And moving ahead to other matters, some of the tech-savvy youth have committed to creating a positive change in the startup of digital services in Rwanda. Those who use some of the software programs believe that it has already brought results. We do have the details with Christel Luwase.
Some of the programs run by the youth from iTech Rwanda include those that help in payments for services in education sector, payments for parking, and recreational activities. This is Jean-Baptiste Shumbusho, a technician at the iTech Institute.
What we do for parking, there is an application that we use. It has its management that is used by station owners, but also the client can access. It usually helps on calculating the payment according to the hours spent. Another software that is used is e-learning, which connects students, teachers, and parents to access education services, including accessing marks, assignment, and tuition fee. Another system works on events like concerts, and this helps with an easy payments of tickets.
He goes on explaining how these programs are used. And he says that these applications can be easily downloaded from App Store or Play Store. Thierry Mugiraneza, the operational manager in iTech Institute, says that the level they have reached gives confidence. Here he clearly explains his experience and where the thoughts of iTech came from, but also he urged the fellow youth to join TVET courses that will contribute to their development and the country as well.
iTech started as a solution to unemployment issue has been occurring in the youth without basing, especially from common courses we got from to school. So the challenge we are still facing is that Rwandans have not yet understood the digital system the country is working with, which shows the number of people using our software. I can tell to my fellow youth it to stand up, get short courses in TVET and basic knowledge and create their own business from that knowledge.
Mother Mary School is one of the institutions that use these programs in their teaching services. Jean Damascene Waziruwihoreye is one of the teachers at this institute, explaining on how the e-learning software had a great impact on their school.
iTech Rwanda is a company that deals with the software. We knew it since COVID-19 when it started. That is why we start with the school. We look at the student, how they are going to stay home without doing anything. And you know, most of the schools, they have the academic year that they did not finish. For us, it was not like that. We start and we look at the system that we can use so that our student can progress and continue studying without only relying at home. So we look at all the system, we look at Google Class, we look at Zoom, but we realize that it is not beneficial. That is where we met Serge, the owner of MIS, the owner of iTech Rwanda. Then we start and discuss. After our discussion, that is where he gave us his system and we started using it. We use it teaching live class and even uploading the work and giving the assessment to our students. For all the students who attended, they were promoted to the next class without repeating the same year due to pandemic. And that time, we were having 500 students, but after COVID, due to that system, it make the number increase up to 1,000. Up to now, the number is increasing and we are still using that system. Sometime when you give homework, we upload them. It has library, we upload the books so that every child can access the books. We put the past papers, they are able to access them. The report card and all finance issues, we are using the same system. We request them to improve on it, where they can link it with the bank that the school is using when their parents are paying school fees. But when they pay, they bring the bank slip, they record every information, and even the parents, they get SMS. So if we need to communicate with the parent, it has a system of messages. Then we wrote the message and we forward it to every parent and they get it. So it's a nice system that I can even recommend all other schools that are not using technology simply to use it. It is very friendly, it is flexible, and the owner of it is flexible. Whatever you need him to set and to add, depending on your need, immediately they do it. It might not even take 2 days. It has nice gentlemen who are working with it, and I visited them where they are working. They promote even gender balance.
We are at Mother Mary School, one of the beneficiaries of iTech software. It helps the parents in paying the school fees through the software. It is not only Rwanda that they are working with, they are also working with Sierra Leone, Mozambique, Zambia, and many other countries. Their wish is to be a solution to the whole continent. Christelle Oase, RTV News.
And that's all from us here at RB's Rwanda Television News. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us. And up until next time, stay safe and wish you a great and fruitful month of February ahead. Goodbye.